Okay, scholars, so today you will be starting your research on your certain animals. So we've spent a couple of days just exploring different animals. Terrestrial means land animals and marine means water animals. So at this point, you should have decided what animal you would like to become an expert on. So in your folder, you have a paper that looks like this, and it is two-sided, and there are 4 questions or 4 activities that you're going to be doing over the next few days. At the end of this, we will take our information that you've collected and we will put it in a PowerPoint, and you will be sharing your information that you learned on your animal to a small group or to the whole class. Okay, so at this point, we are going to pick an animal that you're going to decide on what animal you want to do. We're all going to have different animals. So Miss Esther has decided on the African animal or African elephant, and that is a terrestrial mammal, which means it is an animal that lives on land. So I'm going to be using Pebble Go, and there are also other books and stuff if you were in class. If you are a remote scholar, you could also use the ARC bookshelf if you need additional information. Okay, so here I have the African elephant. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write my my topic right here. So I'm going to write African, if it'll let me. Now you want to make sure that you are using neat handwriting so that you can go back to this and use it for your notes, okay? You want to make sure you're using your best handwriting. Okay, so my first question says, describe the animal's habitat. Now, we know that the habitat is where the animal lives, okay? So habitat means home. So I'm going to look right here. It says, African elephants live in Africa. They find food on flat, grassy savannas. Elephants need trees and water to stay cool in the hot sun. So I'm not going to copy this, guys. When you copy, if I sat there and copied all of that, that actually is not allowed because this is someone else's book. I need to take this information and put it in my own words. I also have an image to look at, okay? This picture shows me they like flat, grassy land, okay? And so I don't necessarily have to write sentences over here. You can simply do some bullet points, okay? So Miss Esther is going to come right here, and I'm going to do just a bullet point number 1, and I'm going to put Africa, okay? Okay, just like that. I'm also going to put on my next bullet point that they like flat and grassy land. Okay, I also see that they need what? Trees and water. So I'm going to simply put that their habitat needs trees and, oh, sorry. Miss Esther's trying to do this on my touch screen, and water. Okay, now if you are in person, there's books in our classroom that you can go and look for some more facts about where they live. Okay, if you are a remote scholar, you can definitely go to the ARC bookshelf and see if you can search for books on elephants. Also, I forgot to mention to my remote scholars, you're going to be writing this information down in your notebook. So you might want to write question number 1, describe the animal habitat. Okay, so you need to have at least 3 things here about their habitat. Okay, one thing I do know is that they typically like their habitat is normally warm. It is not a cold place like the Arctic. African elephants need to live in a habitat that is warm, and that's just something that Miss Esther knows. Okay, all right, so your job today is to do question number 1 Again, remote scholars, you need to write this in your notebook. You are not doing an African elephant. You are picking another animal, okay, that you have decided on through us collaborating during class and sharing our facts. So remote scholars, you will be writing this information in your notebook, and my in-person scholars, you will be completing your worksheet.